Hello and welcome back to Father and Son Tractors. As you saw in our last video, we had a bit of a time of it getting a couple of bolts off the tractor that are for the wings to go on. Now they are off, we thought it might be wise to start refinishing portions of that back end. So by that I mean we're going to try and take the drums off and have a look at the brakes and make sure we can get those working and show you how that works. To do so we'd have to move the whole tractor back and put it up on some axle stands. We got a coat of paint on the back wheels, but that in this very narrow workshop, 1.2 meters wide here, was very difficult. So we sort of thought if the tractor's jacked up and on axle stands and it's not in gear, I don't know if it's in gear, I don't know if that even works. Yeah. When we're painting the wheels for the second coat, we can just turn the wheels as we go, and that would just be so much easier as long as it's cool enough outside so the paint just doesn't dry as soon as we put it on in the sun. So yeah, let's move the tractor back and see how we get on with that for a start. You ready?
Yeah.
Do it. So first step, to remove this whole hub to check what's going on with the brakes. Oh wow. Once he's jacked up, you want an axle stand under either end so he doesn't collapse. Basics of health and safety there. The first step to remove this hub is you take out these two screws, which are classically stiff. We give them a tap. I've got a big screwdriver, there goes the spider. I'm going to put a spanner on the screwdriver to get a bit more force. There we go, and he goes. Not as stiff as I'd thought. But they hold the hub on. Now I'm of the impression that these are almost a little pointless, because when the wheel is on and it's bolted on, that holds the hub on anyway. But if they're there, they're there. If they're not, I wouldn't worry too much. Let's try the other one. Oh, he was alright, that one. Jinxed it. There we go. Now this is where I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Silverline Tools, for providing all the kit we need to do jobs just like this. Thank you, Silverline. Now we have those two screws out, it almost gets even more difficult. So we need to remove this whole hub, which means hitting it on the back of its rim, which does chip the old cast quite a lot. But on something this rusty, it's the only way to do it. So you literally position your screwdriver behind the lip. You want to bring the camera over actually so we can see. So it's this lip here, and you want to just tap it and then turn the wheel, tap again. You can see where I've taken little chunks out. Just keep going round and round and round till it pops off. Okay, now I know that was a bit of a time lapse, but that took quite a long time. Now, surprisingly heavy.
Is it heavier than the other one?
Really greasy on the brakes. Yeah, it is. So that wouldn't be doing much braking at all. So they'll need cleaning up with some white spirit to get the grease out, as will the pads. So now let's have a look at freeing it all up and getting the brake working.
The first step is to remove these pins here, all the bolts that hold the drum on, then we can take the pads off.
A lot of spiders. Okay, so that's the hub and the brake pads off. So the braking mechanism is controlled when you push the brake pedal. It moves this bar, and that turns this silver mechanism here, which moves, or rather that way, forces the brake pads open, and then when you let go it closes. Now this is obviously seized, so we're going to have to tap this around with a hammer and a screwdriver on there, try and free it up, use some WD-40, and then clean all this drum up once we got it free. We got a bit hot. Did we get a bit hot? How hot is it? Really, really hot. But a dismantled drum brake that now springs back and forth. So in the end we had to take apart, we had to take off these two big nuts, hammer this thing around to move it back slightly so that we could move this section back slightly to get some WD-40 and some grease in there. The only thing that was seizing it all up was this bar that runs right the way across was just skunked up. It wasn't necessarily even the rust, it was just years worth of grime. But now when you brake, these springs are absolutely fine. So now we'll put all the pads and everything back on, which Oscar has cleaned, and the drums are clean, and we'll get everything back on. So that is everything back on. If Oscar lifts the lever right up, they expand and open, and back down, son, and they close. Do it again, son, so we can just see this mechanism going. There you go. So everything moving nice and free now. So let's put the drum back on, and he's good. We'd like to thank Rory from Rory's Workshop. He sent these up. Check out Rory's Workshop YouTube channel. Smashing videos on there. He splits a Fergie in half. Loads of classic car stuff. Loads of Land Rover stuff. It's good fun. Have a look. If you liked the video restoring the brakes and getting them working, what have you got to do, son?
Like and subscribe down.
Like and subscribe down here.
No, that's
That was up, down here. And if you've got any questions on brakes, please ask. We have a manual.